Let's talk about the time I was gone, and I was on I went to do a seminar, and I got you guys bow and arrows. And you have these little compound bows. Well, over on the wall hanging up is my bow with my arrows with broadheads on
Right.
it. And so I come home.
Which yours is ours.
Yeah.
Right.
I come home and the whole side of the garage is shot full of broadheads.
Yeah.
Knight had an arrow in his leg.
Yeah.
That was Ben, by the way.
Ben put an arrow in his leg. There was one in your mom's car tire.
Yeah.
And
But the whole side of the garage was just arrows everywhere.
I think there needs to be a disclaimer. Please don't try this at home.
Yeah.
We were pretty dumb. But what was funny is, I think it was Catfish over there.
Oh, right.
He shot the first one in the garage, like, hey, let's get this out. Let's see what it'll do. So we pulled it back. Whack! It hits the side of the house. Bare, because it was a wood-sided house.
couldn't get it out.
Yeah. Oh, no. This was the fun part. So I walked up to it and stepped on it and broke it flush with the house. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Let's do that again. And this was back in the day with double X 75s. You know,
Right.
they'd bend so easy anyway. And you could just, when you stepped on it, snap right in half. So I think we broke a few fishing rods for the fun of it that weekend. And it I know we broke 20 arrows. We were shooting them up in the air.
We were on a rampage.
Yeah.
That's how the dog got shot. Ben shot the arrow up in the air, and y'all ran because it was going to come back down.
160 grain thunderhead.
Thunderhead, baby.
Yeah.
Woo! And Knight, the Wonder Dog, didn't run, and it hit him right in the ham. I could have killed y'all.
Well, if you,
We didn't
if you'd have
understand.
caught us, you might would have.
Oh, I caught you.
We didn't understand why you were so mad, but I
Right.
guess with kids, I get it now.
Oh, absolutely.
The very best one I had a group of engineers from Japan to come over. They were making the first computerized reel. You remember that?
Yes, I remember this well.
And this thing was a chunk of aluminum, and this prototype reel was they probably had $100,000 in this reel, and they plugged all these wires in it. And I told them that they wanted to come on this particular morning, and I had to go work at the Chicago Boat Show, and I was booked to fly out. So all these engineers from Japan came, and we're working on this reel, and they had a big box, a big computer that they plugged all these wires in, and they could read and they could tell what the speed of the spool was, what the speed of the line was, and all the working parts of this reel as the magnets would close and slow down based on the speed of the line leaving the reel. And it's just a very complicated deal. And they couldn't get their computer to read correctly, so they wanted to reschedule. So I said, I can't. They wanted me to stay. I can't. I got a flight. I've already booked, and I got to be at the Chicago show. So I told them, I said, but I'll be back on Monday. They said, okay, well, we're just going to go stay in a hotel, and we'll leave the rod and reel here, and we'll take our computer. We're going to work on this. So I got 100 rods and reels in my garage.
At least.
And this is a block of aluminum.
It looked like something from the future. It was the wildest looking thing we'd ever seen.
I mean, if you went in, anybody looking for a rod and reel to go in a garage, you would never choose that rod and reel. I got all kind of rods and reels in there.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gone.
But before you left, what did you say?
Do not touch
Do
this.
not mess with this rod on my workbench. Leave that rod and reel alone.
And you probably somewhere in there said, look at my face. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Loud and clear. Do not. So I'm on the way home from the airport, and I'm talking to your mom, and she said, by the way, the boys went fishing on the dock last night, and they lost one of your rods and reels, and they're really upset about it. But I told them you had plenty, and you wouldn't be all that upset.
What did it look like?
When I get home, the rod and reel, I got 5 Japanese engineers staying in a hotel that has stayed all weekend to get a read on that reel. And it's in Lake Norman.
It's in the...
When it went off the pier, it was Ben.
It was Ben.
We're blaming this one on Ben.
Absolutely
The catfish,
Ben.
the lake was turning over,
Yep.
and the catfish were biting like crazy. Yep. And we had about 3 rods setting out, and I looked over, and it looked like something off of Jaws. That rod went flying off the end of the pier. and it was gone.
It was like on
splash in the water.
skis going across the top of the water.
My prayer is I knew I was in huge trouble. This thing's, I don't know how much it cost, but for 5 engineers to fly from Tokyo to Charlotte to meet with me to get data, it had to be a big deal.
Yeah.
So I'm praying, Lord, there's 3 stumps out in front of this dock. My hope is somehow when that fish pull that thing into the water with that big heavy aluminum chunk of aluminum, it got stuck in those stumps. So I stripped off, put on a little bathing suit, dove in, and started graveling for that. And
He would
found
come
it.
up and he'd go back down.
And he's
come
so
up.
dramatic.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, dramatic. Mad, shaking his fist. Going down, coming up. Every time he came up, he was redder in the face, wasn't he?
I found it.
He did.
I found it. It was stuck in one of those stumps. Still had the fish on it,
Yep.
man. Yeah, still had the fish. I got it and brought it in and took a hair dryer and I took everything apart I could. I didn't know how to take it all apart, but what I could, I did. I dried it perfect with a hair dryer. About 30 minutes after I got through here, all these guys pull up in the driveway. So we go down on the dock. They plug everything in the computer. And, of course, I don't speak Japanese. And they're all going, it's not working. And
I wonder
they,
why.
They're working on the computer, you know. And I'm casting this reel, and they're looking at each other, and nothing's reading on it. And I'm sitting there saying, I don't know. Probably because I've been in the lake for 3 days. But nobody died in
Nobody
that. And y'all still, to this day, say it was Ben?
It was
Yeah,
Ben.
Ben. Yeah,
was
it was
Ben.
definitely Ben.
Yeah.
Definitely Ben.
Definitely.
Well, I'm going
And
to
if-
have Ben on the show in the future.
Right. And when he tells you it was not him, don't believe him.
No,
That's right.
It was definitely Ben.
Exactly right.
That is one that there is no statute of limitations. When I find out who did it, I'm going to give somebody a spanking.
I thought we got one.
probably
We all
deserve
3
it.
got one.
Yeah,
for
but
that,
you're going
didn't
to get another
Okay,
one.
all
All
right.
right.
Get a
I had
better
to-
one.
Yeah, you're going to get a better one. When I find out it was
Right.
really you, Ben got blamed for everything. You know, when there's 3 kids involved and a window gets broken, somebody broke the window, and you say, okay,
Wasn't me.
wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Yeah. What do you do?
You whoop them all.
Yeah, I did that a few times. It didn't work either. I never found out. By the way, who broke the window in
I
Ben's
think
room?
that was Junior.
Which the big round window?
Yeah.
No, the one in Ben's room when the whole glass got knocked out.
Oh.
I don't know. I broke the
Yeah.
big round window. I was shooting a BB gun
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
got the heat for it.
and
by
I
the
saw
way.
a bird and I thought, I'm gonna smoke this bird. I had this big round bubble window. When I hit that thing, I was like, oh no. I put that BB gun up and I just went in the house.
Right.
We
And I,
never did really know how that broke. We thought maybe a bird.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
Yeah,
but
I don't
think
know.
the
A
light,
bird flew
the
into it.
sun.
All this time we thought a bird flew into
I
it.
think it's what it was. A bird with a BB.
Oh,
Right.
man.
That's what it was.